Going on, family? What's going on? It's a late night out here in New York City. I figured we do a live. We talk about what's going on with the migrant crisis since I ain't been on in a while doing lives. I ain't did lives in a while, so I figured we start out and do a live. I'm waiting for you guys to come to the live. Hanging about my boy King Solomon Entertainment. I had just told my boy Amar that I was gonna go to sleep, and I ended up getting up doing a live, man. So we're gonna do this live on the late night. We're gonna wait a little bit to get people to come on the live because when I do my lives, I don't tell nobody. I just have them come on the live. So you gotta wait for the people, see who's up, see who's working, see who want to be a part of the live. You guys, leave a comment if you're on the live. Let me know. I see people coming in. I just want you guys' opinion today about the migrant crisis. It's almost like beating a dead horse now, man. This has been going on forever and ever. What was it, Manchi? Well, Manchi said 2 a.m. live. What's up, man? Just talk about the migrant crisis and everything like that. Rogue said was Goody from the Bronx. Okay, okay. Yeah, we got people watching. Canty said, "Hey, Philly Canty, what's going on with you?" Max Anderson said, "Greetings from Japan." They got people watching from Japan, man, everywhere, man. That's what's going on.
That's good.
This is King Solomon right here. Entertainment. Let them know a little bit about yourself, and then we'll start talking, about the migrant crisis and then, other different things as well.
Well, those that don't know, I'm King Solomon. I'm King Solomon Entertainment. I have a media platform here in the California, LA, Hollywood area, and I cover everything from trending topics, current topics, entertainment, Hollywood, etc. And friend to the show, friend to Philly Doms, and just rocking with them on the migrant crisis, and trying to get as much information as possible.
Yes, indeed, man. That's my boy a long time, man. I knew him back from my days when I was living in California, man.
Yeah.
I knew him a long time, man. And we both doing content now on YouTube. That's crazy. You never know
Yeah.
what how life will play itself out, man.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, but
Back
yeah,
then, I would imagine we would have been doing
no, I
content.
was I didn't get it then. I'm still learning today. Still don't really get it, but I'm like, okay, this is where it's at. This is where it's going. You know.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy, man. Let me answer some of their questions because today I just wanted some of you guys' opinion. He said, "Do you see what Tyson Foods is doing?" Yeah, man, they're firing a lot of employees. They're trying to hire. Tyson Foods is trying to hire a whole bunch of migrants because obviously you could pay them cheaper labor and stuff like that. Because the people are desperate. They're here. They want to work. So if they tell them $16 an hour, or 12 bucks, or 18 bucks, they'll go for it. Well, you really can't get the employees to go for it. So what they're saying is a lot of big companies are like, this is working out for them because now they can get cheaper labor if they hire a migrant because they can hire them at the lowest cost. Because these people, they got bills, they got to pay. So they came up here, man. They got people to pay back home. It wasn't free for you to, whatever country you came from, Venezuela, if you came from Japan, if you came from China, if you came from the continent of Africa, came from Haiti, if you came from the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Colombia, so many different. It's 160 countries coming here now with this migrant crisis. The problem was before, the situation before, and I know this because my family, they're Haitian. Uh, when the Haitians were coming around 2014, 15, 16, 2015, 2016, they would hold them in Mexico and they would have to do their political asylum from Mexico. So they would go to the border, do political asylum, and then they would, put them back in Mexico. And they would have to wait there 2, 3, 4 years. Whenever you on the list and the judge call you, come up to do your case. Now we got, Joe Biden. He came up with this bright idea to let them plead their case in the states. That's why we have so many migrants here. See, before when we had Trump in office, his policy was like to have them wait, or a lot of countries to have them wait out, do their political asylum outside of the country. So that's what's going on. So everybody and their mom is coming here because some of the migrants know even if they only here for a little bit of time, at least they can try to work under the table. They can get some money. I mean, it's a lot of stuff they can do. I mean, some migrants were committing crime. They need to all get deported. If they commit any crime, they need to be deported. But there's a lot of stuff they can do under the table, man. For far as the being, it's so many different jobs, man. Like recycling, plastics and stuff like that. You don't need in California you see people go to the place. Yeah, they can do that because you don't need no social security ID. They work in like Uber Eats and different jobs like that. They got a bunch of scooters. They work in Uber Eats. They doing that. I hear about the prostitution. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing. It's a sad situation, man. New York has never been in this type of situation. So there's a lot of different things they're doing to get money. They're selling candy on the trains. They're selling candy. Some of them are begging. Some of them even went as far going to the door to door to people houses to beg them for money and food and stuff like that. Because they have no working papers. A lot of them still don't have working papers. So it varies from country to country. So like the Venezuelans, they can get working papers pretty quickly, but even here in New York, they're not getting it as quick as they say they are. And then just because you got working papers don't mean you have a job either. But most of them don't even have working papers yet. So it's rough, man. And they housing them everywhere. They're housing them everywhere, man. When I say they're housing them everywhere, every hotel, every they opening up if they got a area where they can put a tent shelter, they put them in tent shelters. Oh man, they putting them in office buildings that they don't use no more. They'll have them stay at the airports. They put them anywhere they can put them, man. It's completely out of control in the United States right now. Craig said, guys, as long as we are in a global pack, okay, migrants is not going to stop. I hear you. I hear you on that because the UN controls the border. Yeah, they're going to keep coming, man. So they're still coming. They're still coming. The other day, I think it was in Texas, man. They were trying to, bypass the military and the border patrol. Like it's a lot going on, man. It's almost like a depressing topic now because we talk about it so much, and it's like talking, 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 talking. What are we gonna do now? Where you from, King Solomon? You're from Chicago. Chicago is holding their ground. They holding their ground. They Chicago's fighting back. Chicago's fighting back. They're protesting. They protest in New York, but Chicago is consistent with it, and they really trying to stop it. But this problem is going to be around until we get the next president in.
Yeah, and plus, before Chicago also was a place where it's not conducive to other country climate. So nobody like being in Chicago because it's so cold there. But that don't even matter no more. You have everybody like they go into Chicago because we need to make money and we need to survive. So it's like I don't even care about the weather, because New York get pretty cold too. But they steered away from Chicago. But my family like they're there, and so they're coming. They keep coming, and the people are not happy. Chicago is not happy.
Okay.
And but because they don't play. Chicago's a teamster. Like it's middle America. It's like Quaker. You know what I'm saying? So like they teamsters don't play that in any field, any blue collar type of work.
They stand up for each other.
They've been doing that. Midwest has been known to do that.
Okay.
Middle America. So they don't like this type of stuff. Like everybody finds it like a problem.
Yeah, because they're getting free food, they're getting free housing. I mean, they got them staying in hotels here in New York. Some nice places in New York, some nice hotels. I just don't want to say the names, but we've all stayed there. If you traveled anywhere, you'd have stayed at these hotels, man. These are like well branded hotels that if you go into a new town or if you're traveling somewhere, you're probably going to stay at these hotels.
Now, aren't these hotels and these franchises are eager to get back to work business as usual?
I don't think they care because their hotels are full. They're full. So the hotel business is like, I mean, I know where their mindset is. It's like, and they took a hit. Let's be honest. They took a hit in COVID. During COVID time, they took a hit. They have these hotels packed to the rim. Like I've talked to security guards. I've talked to the military. I've talked to people that work in these facilities. The ones that are friendly, because most of them are top secret. They don't want to tell you anything. And the hotels are filled to capacity. You're talking hotel with 20 stories. Every room is filled up. And the second I said, oh, when they, have to release somebody, because they have these housing rules, like how long you can stay in a shelter, hotel, whatever, before you have to reapply again. And everybody that works at the place told me like within seconds they have more people in there. So the hotels, I mean, you know about hotels. They got peak season, off peak season. Right now, this is 4 times season all the time. They're getting paid through the U.S. The government. You know what I mean? It wasn't like their money wasn't guaranteed before, but definitely, unless it's like a special event in New York or something like that, them hotels ain't gonna be at a full 100% occupancy. They're not gonna be at a full occupancy. But now they're guaranteed. I mean, it's like for miles. Bro. I wish I could fly you out to New York to see this with y'all. You would be floored. You would be floored. And it's going on
No.
in Chicago the same way. It's in Colorado. It's in Atlanta, I heard now. Philadelphia, where I'm from, I don't know. Migrants don't want to stay there. They don't really have a big migrant problem. And I never, it's just, this is so political. This thing is so political. I didn't know why the mayor from New York didn't ask if he could send some of his migrants to Philadelphia. Because, to balance it out, because Philly is a big city. They're in Jersey now. We know they're in Jersey and stuff like that. But they're allowed in places that are like sanctuary cities.
Yeah, this the whole tri-state area could spread the wealth. Like you go
Yeah,
to
but it's not.
Baltimore, Philly,
They're
Boston.
in Washington D.C., but it's not my. A YouTube friend did a video the other day. His name is Ivan Adventures. I watched his video. He did a video, and he was the first person to do a video that I saw with my own 2 eyes. That I knew they had migrants in D.C., but they kept that under the radar. See, the news they can control, but the content creators, you can do basically what you want. You know what I mean? As long as you're within the parameters and rules of YouTube. So it's man, it's really got out of hand, and then like New York is in billions of dollars of debt trying to house these migrants, man.
Yeah, they should be moving them more towards Boston and Maryland and Philly to help them out a little bit.
Wow. And then my boy Yes said, you have no idea what's going on in California. However, you didn't hear much about it for good reason. Yeah, he said I guess is in California. He's saying there's a whole bunch of problems over there as well, but they've been keeping it under the wraps. Like New York has been like the focal point. New York and Chicago, the Texas border, Arizona, California, they've been the focal point. So, California is business as usual, people
Yeah,
always sneaking in to live in California. So y'all been dealing with this illegal migrant situation longer than anybody.
yeah. So they
You
kind of like maybe
guys in Texas.
yeah, clumping it all together. But
Yeah.
people want to hear about this new wave of migrants. How is it different from before, and how they treat this? They dumping everybody together since this has already been a problem here. That people want to know like what's going on.
Well, what this new wave is, I've never seen nothing like this. This is hard to explain to anybody. They letting them, apply for political asylum, and now it's not even no guarantee you'll get political asylum. So you could say, oh, people are killing me in my country. That's why I came here, right? That's political asylum. Like I'm being persecuted, or this and that, or my sexual orientation in my country. You don't like that. It's different. It's like you can go and look. It's different things that make the category. So these people are already trained before they leave their country what to say to U.S. Embassy. So U.S. Border Patrol. So once you say that, they let you in. But now these people have no money, they have no place to stay, so they're housing them. They're doing everything for them. Everything for them. Every everything for them.
Yeah,
Everything. I mean everything. Like medical expenses, food, if they got kids, they put them in the school. People, organizations giving them clothes, everything. Everything.
yeah, and we already dealing with inflation, so I know this is going to probably prolong that because people was thinking that the
Yeah.
inflation probably was going to go back, but now this probably might prolong it because somebody got to pay this debt off.
Yeah, and that's like I said. I did a video today, and I was telling them that this is going to come out of our taxes. They can ride. I mean, they're going to take taxes from us because some people are like, oh, they're taking this from our taxes. If the migrant crisis didn't exist, they still be taking taxes. But now with this, they can probably take a little bit more out because it's justifiable because of the stuff they had to do to house these migrants. And
Yeah,
New York, it's like 400 a day to take care of a migrant family. And then all the migrant issues that they have for that day, all the migrants together that's in the city, they said about what is it, 10 million a day for whatever expenses they have. The hotels, the shelter, tent shelters, wherever they're at, food, medical, whatever they need. And then for the month is about like 300 million plus. These are numbers they telling us. They could be, a little higher. I'm sure they like putting a little something on it. So people are getting fed up like that because we have homeless. They don't take care of homeless like that. We got these people called vets that served in the U.S. military. Thank you guys, whoever watching. Thank you for serving in the military. They don't. I asked my military friends, "Have you ever stayed in a hotel 3-4 months on the U.S. military or the United States government?" They said no.
yeah,
Free food, free everything. When your time runs out, you can reapply. They try to make this rule now that they can pick and choose to let you back in the system. That's what they were saying on the news. But let's keep it 100. They're not gonna let nobody stay on the streets from another country like that for too long.
yeah. And then you got to think about what it would take to round people up and send them back. Like, how would you send them back?
You
Who
had
would
to
you
pay
send
for
back?
it. Some of their countries saying they're not taking them back. I
Yes.
think Venezuela said they're not taking them back because, they had some criminals that got in from gangs and stuff like that. They the ones that were like robbing people and grabbing people's cell phones and doing all these crazy crimes, shooting, shoplifting. It's been a crazy situation, man. Maurice said, when I was a teenager, I lived in what's it saying, Joachim Valley. I used to have buses come in and load up legals every night when I leave. In Fresno, every night you can hear them coming. Wow. Glad to hear that. With the word of Cat Williams, Mitchie said, look what we could have done. Look what we have done, man. It's crazy, man. Shout out to my boy Max Anderson. New York Miracle is completely backwards now. Morals, I guess he wants to say morals. New York moral is completely backwards now. Yeah, we're in a crazy, crazy situation. Wow, my boys in San Diego, yeah, said sometimes you see them in Al Cajon. I ain't said that in a while. That's in San Diego. But most of the time they're spreading them around under the radar with all kinds of assistance, including offering the jobs. So the problem is they have all these people here, and they're not working.
Yeah.
They waiting. Some of them got court dates. They interviewed one lady one day. She said her court date was like 2031, bro. Where we at? We in 2024, right?
Whoa.
2031 before she even see a judge. They have so much of a big backlog. That's crazy.
So she's good. Like, I could come here and make as much money for 10 years. I'm good. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. And they got this thing called Anchor Baby. You know, I have a baby here on American soil. Once you have the baby on American soil, guess what? The baby's automatically American citizen. Which judge is going to send the mom back and separate them from their daughter or their son? So it's in the next couple of years, they will be reevaluating our immigration policy. Trust me on that. But yeah, Trump had it one way, and Biden had it one day. Did it another way. Biden has signed more executive orders than any other president in history. He's reversed a whole bunch of stuff. So if Trump gets in office, because there's no guarantee he's going to win, we can't just assume he's going to win. So Trump will have to go back and reverse all that. And like you said, if they're going to just try to do a massive deportation, that'll get a little technical too. So it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into this. People don't understand. It's not like a 1, 2, 3, and it's done. Like he has a lot.
No, it's that's what I'm saying. The manpower and how do you go about doing it? You just deport everybody. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to even begin to tackle because this have been going on. Even the people that have been here, and you still haven't figure out how to assess those people. So this is adding to the list, and I don't know. It's a lot of people to accommodate, and the fact that they're still coming.
They're
So
still
it's like
coming.
so I don't understand why haven't the immigration laws reflect today as if there's an influx, not somewhat as far as closing the borders or denial, but the influx of there's a lot that have come here. And so what do you do when that happens? And so like I say, Trump has restricted, but again, it's still people still coming. So it's like even those who still get in, no matter what, even if restricted or not. So it still has been an ongoing issue. So again, how do you kind of get ahead of it? Because at this rate, it's going to be, like I say, billions of dollars and billions of dollars. It's going to be a major problem.
We can go bankrupt. We could be going bankrupt because they spending too much money, man. They're spending billions of dollars just to house them. And we just talk about one city. We're not even going to talk about, if we talk about what Chicago is doing, what Colorado is doing, what California is doing, with California got a couple big cities there. Wow, man. Arizona, it's a lot to unpack, man. It's really a lot to unpack, man. It's really a lot to unpack.
If they leave it to the states, it's
Mhm,
going to look different all over.
mhm.
Yeah.
And he said Joe Biden 2024. The Max said, I'm in Japan. I still vote for Trump 2024. So everybody's looking for, Trump as like the savior to get us out of this problem, but he's gonna be doing a lot.
Well, if Trump paid his bill, we could afford to pay some of the debt. But
Yeah, I like
Trump just
that.
got his bill reduced to 175 from
Wow.
523 million. So it's like if Trump paid that 523 million,
Put it on some of that. Maybe he can help us out a little bit.
it
Look,
help us out a little bit. We won't be too much crying
put a
with
little
some of
dent
that
into
Trump
it.
money. But Trump ain't paying that 523 million, please.
No, man, the truckers was going to strike not to deliver food in New York City. It got funky, man.
Yeah, but I see some of the footage. It did a good job of really talking directly to the people. Because I didn't even know the migrant workers were from all over. Because we talked to the
Mhm.
African guy, I was like, wow,
160 countries.
wow. Like, how do they even happen? Do they go other places first, then they get here?
Yeah, they go other places first. They go to Mexico and places like that would have no problem letting them in. They just say, "Where you going?" I'm on my way to America to get political asylum. So like, all right, they'll push you through the country.
Okay, so it's understood that they cannot stay in Mexico.
Hmm. Right now, before They had Trump had like the Haitians, and it was some other Latin countries. He had them sitting in Tijuana
Okay, so
before.
why isn't Mexico more friendly with helping America out? Because like we already have a problem with a lot of the South Americans coming and
Mhm.
other like Mexico and everybody else. Why would they allow a passageway for the world to come?
Well, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense, man.
Right? It's almost like, oh, sure, America, God, get over there. You know.
Yeah, it don't make no sense, man. It doesn't.
Oh, but it's like, oh, sure, yeah,
This was
you can come
going.
through here, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so Trump, not Trump, Biden did these executive orders and said they can apply for political asylum while they're in here in the States. They can wait here. When before, not all countries, but some countries had to wait outside the country to get their political asylum. So
Mm.
it's crazy. Yes, this is a political virus in DC that affects every even for angels. That affects even for angels. Max said, Eddie Gray, what has Joe Biden done to make you vote for him again? Did somebody say Joe Biden 2024? And then Mitchie said, apparently Biden talked to the Mexican president about that, and they haven't heard anything about it since. The Mexican president obviously told him, okay, wow, that's deep, that's deep. So I come on here today, we come on do this live just to hear you guys' opinion. Give me your opinion. We can talk about it. I don't think everybody's gonna get deported. And I think if they do a mass deportation, once they start doing it, people will go into hiding because you can actually hide in the States. You can really live a modest life and be under the radar. So
Yeah,
we'll see it. We'll see how this unfolds, man. This is just, man.
yeah. You can move around to where, like I say, if there's no migrants in Ohio, you can make it to Ohio and
Yeah,
like blend in.
this is, it's, wow, man. It's just a crazy, crazy situation we're dealing with. Real crazy situation right now here in the U.S. with this migrant crisis. But yeah, I don't understand why they didn't spread them out to other places because we're a country of what 300 million plus people, and you see how big the U.S. is. But you have to be like a sanctuary city. So they're in Ohio too. Ohio experiencing this. Even parts of Maine experience it. Boston, Massachusetts have a whole bunch of migrants there too. So it's one of them crazy, crazy, crazy situations.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting how you see this unfold. How we going to actually be forced to deal with our immigration problems. So this is going to be good because again, this will help us to focus on it because again, it's been like swept under the rug as far as really not dealing with it as a
That's
point to
true.
where we have resolved. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
maybe it's more important than what I know it's been a like campaign platform strategy to get in. Like, you can run an election based on immigration alone, but again, like what have really been done, overall, the strides here and there, like Trump did or whatever, but
Mm.
it's like nobody really have really solved the problem. And nobody really want to be the president that stopped everybody from coming in. But in this case, where it's like again, um, people are taking advantage of
Yeah,
America.
because all of them are not coming for political asylum. Some of them are just saying that, you know what I mean? And I don't even know how the judge can prove it. If you make up a story, how can they prove it? They can't like call back home like, can we
Yeah,
confirm this really happened? Like,
yeah, yeah. And again, even if they deport them, you can't send me back. You got to send me somewhere else. Like so, yeah. What other country can take them? Because this also a part of this.
Canada can take them.
Yeah, but
Some
the
places in
hypocrisy
Europe can
is
take
that
them.
everybody looking at us, but we have the best by comparison, the best immigration laws and the less restricted immigration laws there is.
Uh-huh.
So anybody else, they the immigration laws is way more strict than
Yeah,
ours.
that's true.
Way more strict.
That's true. They want to
Yeah,
come
look,
here because
yeah.
they hear about the commercials about American Dream and all that. That's why a lot of them want to come to these countries, come to the
Yeah,
U.S.
but and that's fine. But I think when it's imploded,
Mhm.
it's it's you've been doing that, but now it's imploded. So now it's like, okay, we have to close the borders. If not, we're all in trouble.
Wow. Urban said Chicago citizens are about to riot about this about the illegals.
Because when I talked to my family back home in Chicago, they are upset. Chicago is definitely a Teamster town. They are upset. They are. They really are.
Yeah, they are, man. This is some depressing stuff that we're dealing with right now. Real depressing, man.
Yeah.
Very depressing, man. And we gotta wait it out and see what's gonna go down the road. But if you want to, email that congressman or a congresswoman if they want to for this problem to stop, we got to work together, man. This is just it's gonna get worse before it get better, man. That's all I got my eyes do. It's gonna get worse before it get better. 100%, it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, because even with all the companies already with all the extra costs, layoffs and stuff, it's going to be like, yeah, it's hard, it's rough.
Yeah. Wow. B. Well said. Then why don't you get a lot of college students? I don't know what that means. Uh, Sarah Sarah Smith said Americans are struggling and can't afford to support everyone. I agree, 100%. Ms. Smith, 100%. I agree. Then B. Hole said, wonder where our schools are. They're attacked too. It's crazy right now. It's crazy, 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 crazy madness, man. I remember some shelters they wanted to kick out some homeless people to make room for the migrants. They have accommodated these people like I've never seen anybody get accommodated. And I don't hate the people and I'm not upset with anybody. You come here to get a better life, but it's just the channels and the way they go about it that is not looking fair for an elderly, for a homeless, and for a military vet. It don't look fair.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's arguing about a better life, but I just think that to exchange or interchange someone else's better life for somebody new better, it's like, what are the people that's already homeless and veterans and served for this country? What about their better life? Don't what are they here for a better life, or I mean, what this better life stuff is all about? I think the people who've been here have been waiting long for a better life. So, what is this instant better life type of idealism? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they watch. America's very known. You've been out of the country. They like our music. They like our swagger, our culture, the way we talk, the way we act, and stuff like that. They know America produced the most millionaires. So if you have a good idea and you stick to a plan, you can come here 1 year, and within 3 to 5 years, you could have some money or be a millionaire. So there's a lot of enticement with the states that you don't get in other countries.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah. But with the internet, I think the internet, the World Wide Web, has even the playing field. You don't have to go to that country no more with the
Mhm.
internet. You can have a great idea and put it on the internet and be a millionaire.
That's true. That's 100% true. You're 100% true about that. So, man, that's the
Yeah.
problem, man. That's the problem in a nutshell with the migrant crisis situation. Let's see some of these comments. Yeah, Mr. Max said, yay, I will be coming back to Cali from Japan this year. I will see how much they changed. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they
I ain't gonna,
changing every day.
We got Dark Star 44.
Dark Star.
Yeah, it was late, Dark Star. That's why I ain't call you. I didn't know you would be up. And I didn't know if you probably have work tomorrow, so I know you can't come on the live now because I know you got work tomorrow. Just let me know. Anonymous said, all food stamps. Oh, yeah, they getting our food stamps. They taking everything.
The grocery store's making a killing, that's for sure.
Yeah, listen to this. They said Biden, Anonymous said Biden took 500,000 American citizens off of welfare to give spoiled college kids an extra $10,000. Wow.
To get who kids?
College kids to get an extra $10,000, I guess for their loans and stuff like that.
Mm.
Once again, guys, if you watch it, make sure you hit the like, share the video, man. You rocking out with the one and only phillydom. I'm out here in New York City, and my buddies out here in LA. And we just try to keep it real and direct with you and let you know what's going on for migrant crisis. I know some people still don't know what's going on because they work jobs and they got stuff to do, that they don't have time to be looking on YouTube and TikTok all day trying to find out
TikTok.
what the news is or something like that.
Yeah, TikTok. Everybody love TikTok.
Oh yeah. And then Storm said brewing in the South for the next month. I hear you on that, man. Dark Star 44 said I can't sleep. Let me know if you want to come on and talk. My friend Dark Star 44, man. This lady has so much information and knowledge about the crisis. Let me know if you want me to call you. Let me know.
Yeah, because you mentioned her before.
Yeah,
She's going to be coming on.
I didn't know if she had work tomorrow or not. So I didn't want to put pressure on her. So let me know if you want to come on, Dark Star 44. Let me know if you ain't tired. If you're not tired. She said she can't sleep.
Yeah.
B. Wiles said total eclipse also April 8th. So they have a total eclipse on April 8th.
I see the weather looks pretty good out there in New York. What weather been like out there? I see you walking around, see no snow.
It was cold. It was cold these last couple of days, but it seemed like the weather's going back up. It seemed like it's going back up. From what I can see, it's going back up.
But it's no snow.
It's no snow. Oh man, we got a celebrity in the building. Shout out to my boy LLN.
Good.
You keep doing your thing, man. LLN, that's my boy right there. He said, make sure you guys subscribe to his channel. He said
Yes.
with the LLM said, he said, hey Philly, how are you? I'm doing good, my brother. How you doing? If it was a migrant who killed that cop in Queens last night, NYPD is going to be wow,
Whoa.
busting it
I didn't think about that. Like, whoa, that's crazy.
all over the street.
Oh, it's a wrap.
Yeah, he said if it was a migrant, yeah, you're 100% right about that. Yeah, what he said. You can see the comments. Can you see the comments? You can't see them.
I can't keep nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
He said, hey Phil, yeah, you're 100% right about that, man. You're 100% right about that. I'm gonna read what he said again. He said, if it was a migrant who killed that cop in Queens last night, NYPD is going to be definitely all over the city. Yes, indeed. You're 100% right, man. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, he does migrant crisis videos, and he does any any crime that's going on. He's there. Right before I got on the live, I looked at his channel, and I think he was at the scene where the police officer got shot at. They're still there, you know. Yeah. So, and I'm
Yeah, I saw
sorry
the
to hear
news.
that today about the police officer, man. That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
He was
they gonna
there at
turn.
least for 3 years. You remember we was before the live, I was listening to it. Before we went live, I listened to it on YouTube.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
seen it. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Man, it's a sad, sad, sad situation, man. Very sad situation, man.
Yeah, they're gonna turn that city upside down until they find out that person. Yeah.
Yeah, but he 100% right. LLN is 100% right about that. Anonymous said no one calls them mental ill and no one, okay. What is that? They are medication. Yeah, that's true. Anonymous said if you can afford 4K rent in California, you were just talking about rent in California. You was just talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay. He said if you can afford 4K rent, you are mentally ill.
No,
Oh man,
that's
they saying that you're crazy. Yeah, because that's a lot of it's a
yeah.
lot of ducats.
Yeah.
Wow. He said he watches you too. What did he say? Hold on. What did he say? What he said? LLY said, I watched that dude. Cool vibes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, LLN Dark Sides 44 said she was no, he said now I gotta get it out. I'm confused myself. Dark Star 44 said LLN was live when it happened. Wow, man. Yeah, you go around the city. Yeah, he catches all the crime. Like he literally goes around the city and he's there like before anybody else. He's a content creator, YouTuber. He's always putting videos out. He's constantly on top of it. LLN is always on top of it, man.
Wow.
Always on top of it. You're 100% right about that, Dark Star 44. Dark Star 44, let me see. It's kind of late now, but let me see.
Send her a link.
If she wanted to get, no, she's in Texas, so it's still late in Texas. It's like 1:41. It's almost 3 o'clock here, man, in New York City, man. This is crazy. Pat said only 20 million migrants coming in 2024. Some good news. It said only 20 million migrants are coming in 2024. That's a joke, Pat. Pat Murphy got jokes. And then Deborah said we tried to recall Corbett, Newsom. They chat like we're dogs here in California. Wow. And then Anonymous said Chicago migrants were getting up to 9,000 a month for rent. You hear that?
Mm.
We're getting up to 9,000 in your city of Chicago, the migrants for rent, up to 9,000. And then the U.S. has to, once you have these visitors here, you have to treat them right because everybody's watching the U.S. So everything they do has to be politically correct and they have to do it in a certain way.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
is
why
it is it 9,000 excessive? Because again,
yeah,
what who do you know give that type of welfare out to anybody?
yeah. For rent, for rent, I guess they try
But
to
Rick don't so
buy them time to get their working papers. I think that's what they're trying to do.
but if that's every month, you don't need that much every month.
Uh, you don't, not at all.
It's interesting.
Mac Anderson said I got to go through a ton of documents for Japan and getting extended visas. I couldn't just walk in here. I hear you on that. And then
Telling you,
make sure you guys hit the like button, man. Share the video.
right,
We out here at 3 o'clock in the morning, man. Support the channel any way you can.
that's right, that's
Rocking
right.
out with the one and only Philly Dom and King Solomon
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Entertainment. Okay, Gene Rogers said, "Hey guys, we Americans are in a serious trouble. All of these migrants need to go back to their country. They don't speak English, Queens, USA. Only thing to do is send them back." But I don't think that'll be the agenda, man.
No, nope. It's gonna be a lot harder to do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Let's pop back up. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, there we go. There we go. We back. Let me see. Pat Murphy said, "Hey, phillydom. Shout out to you, Pat Murphy." And yes, Max Anderson, it's still safe there. Okay. And then Trinity N said, "I salute everyone sending some West Coast love. Shout out to the West Coast. That's where King Solomon's from. He's in LA right now.
Yeah.
He's in LA right now."
Yep.
Uh, Trinity said, "Salute everyone sending." Okay, I read that one. Anonymous said, "And I don't like when the majority of the immigrants are like 80% Hispanics, but they or scapegoat black people like the Venezuelans." Wow, I didn't see Africans. Okay, wow. Make sure you guys get a video like, and thank you for supporting the channel this late at night, man. We greatly appreciate it. More people coming in, more people watching. Dark Side 44 said, "Okay, I woke." Dark Star 44 said, "Okay, I woke now. Give me a call." All right, she's gonna come on in. She has a
Okay.
lot of knowledge, man.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. Okay, hold on. Hold on, we're trying to get on here. I'll call her. Man, this is a struggle, man. Hold on a second. What the heck is going on? There we go.
Voice message system 203.
Whoa. Gotta cut that off. You can't get nobody number. I had to cut that off fast. I just cut it down. No, she told me to call her. We still here. She'll break it down. You can have some questions for her too.
Cool.
She really knows stuff. I'll put the volume all the way down. I'll call her one more time.
Together.
How you doing this evening? It's late. Hold on, let me put the speaker on. Hold on. I hear you now. We got you on speaker now. You on speaker now.
All right, can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear. Loud and
All
clear.
right. I forgot I had the do not disturb on.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, oh, what's going on? What's going on?
I know it's the late show.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson.
I said late show like Johnny Carson. Man, I remember the 90s, man. It was
Yeah,
some
it's the
good
late
times.
show with Johnny Carson.
There was good times in the 80s and the 90s, man. Good times, man. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where you can start with this. The title is basically, I was just telling everybody, give your opinion on the migrant crisis, because people like they live in, like, some people are living in a fantasy land with this, but I feel like people doing like a lot of talking, but like they're not like really protesting or hold on, hello, I'm on a signal went, wow. Put it right here.
All right, I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know. We started talking about the migrants, and I said something about protesting, and it clicked right off. Like, oop. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. It probably is a signal there, but the signal's good. Where's that? I put the phone on the left side. I said, I don't even know where to tell you where to start to break this down with this migrant crisis thing. I said the title is called NYC Migrant Crisis, Your Honest Thoughts. Like everybody, I'm trying to hear what they have to say about it. Your honest thoughts. What do you think?
Well, the thing is that a lot of people say, hey, go back to Mexico, go back to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not quite possible because Mexico has signed the UN Immigration Compact.
Uh-huh.
It was originally signed by Obama
Okay.
and Justin Trudeau and Piñeiro, who was the president of Mexico.
Okay.
So the three of them signed this agreement for migration so people can be easily migrate through country to country.
Okay.
When Donald Trump got into power,
Uh-huh.
like into power, so to speak, when he became president,
Mm-hmm.
he went to the UN and said, nah, we're not doing that because it endangers the sovereignty of the United States.
You hear that?
That's why he got us out of it.
Yes. Because I was trying to tell my friend right here, King Solomon Entertainment, I was trying to tell him that, you know, my family's from Haiti, so I know how the Haitian situation. I know the Haitians were trying to come here in 2015 or 2016. And if I know Donald Trump was president at that time, what he did was they had to wait in Mexico. They can go to the border and they could apply for political asylum. So then after that, they had to sit in Mexico and wait till the U.S. had emailed them or called them, whatever means they did to reach them. And then that's when they would let them come into the States to get their, day in court, quote unquote, day in immigration court, and to see if their claims are
that
legit.
allowed the United States the time to thoroughly vet them, or if they had their hearing,
Mm-hmm.
they could not be entered into the United States.
Okay.
But see, what happened in February of 2021,
Mm-hmm.
our buddy Joe Biden got rid of all of the things that Trump put into practice.
Wow.
By executive order.
Yeah, you said he did more executive orders than any other president in history.
112 executive orders to be exact.
Wow. 100.
So that stay and remain in Mexico, he made a promise to the UN that to get the ball back rolling again in the first year after he made the executive order,
Mm-hmm.
that he would immediately bring into the country 125,000 people.
Wow.
And that's when it started, was in 2021, when you started having the influx of all of these migrants. That's why Trump was so adamant about staying in Mexico, building the wall. See, the wall wasn't meant to keep people out. It was meant as a deterrent,
Mm-hmm.
to slow down the progress that people were making into the United States, because he wanted to force them to ports of entry.
Wow.
And this is the reason why Biden is suing the state of Texas, because we put up all that Constantino water.
Okay. And Biden is
That's
suing.
why it went to the Supreme Court,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to force the courts to force Texas to take down the Constantino water.
Wow. Unbelievable. Because Texas had to do something because there's too many of them coming in. There's too many migrants coming in. And they're still coming in. You see what happened the other day? They had a little riot at the border in not San Antonio, in El Paso area.
Yeah, I had sent you an email with that coverage on it like 4 hours after it happened.
Wow, that's crazy.
And it was ridiculous. I mean, that's not the first time that stuff has happened in Texas, where you had people to bum rush the border.
Yeah.
But it's just probably the first time that it was actually, kind of caught on a live feed from some major news channel.
Wow.
So they had to disseminate it out to the public.
Yeah, they had no choice because everybody saw it. They couldn't hide it.
They couldn't hide it. They just
Wow.
couldn't hide it, just like all of the 15,000 that were coming in per day in Eagle Pass. They couldn't hide that.
They couldn't hide it at all. That's why they just had to talk about it.
You had so many YouTubers that were out there live streaming it, taking photos of it, the whole 9 yards. They just couldn't hide it.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's what the government is afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid of this.
Yeah.
Why do you think they want to shut down TikTok?
Yeah. Because TikTok is rocking and rolling as far as giving like quick information about what's going on. A lot of people said, I did a video with Big Hawk, and they said it was all over TikTok. So people called me up and like, you did a video with Big Hawk? When Big Hawk said they're gonna be mad at me, that he's gonna vote for Donald Trump. He don't care if they're mad at him or he's upset with him. Because everybody plays the race card because you're black, supposed to vote for Trump no matter what. So that's why he said it. But they said that little phrase was like everywhere on TikTok.
Well, there's a lot of things that are going on. In fact, Congress just passed a $1.2 trillion omnibus bill.
For what?
For the United States the United States government not to be shut down.
Wow.
Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's a congresswoman from Georgia, is on a rip-roaring tear right now into Mike Johnson, who's the Speaker of the House.
Wow.
Because he approved it. They gave them 72 hours to read 1,000 pages that were in that bill.
Oh my goodness. There's no possible way they could do it.
No way that they could do it. There was $12.5 million in that bill that was for gun control. But still, at the same time, they want to give guns to illegals.
I know. What's going on with that? Who comes up with these bright ideas to do this type of stuff? Like, who comes up?
There's a method to my madness. Today, the Department of Justice came out with this center that they're creating that basically is going to data mine veterans and people that might have been the recipient of red flag laws. So that basically means that the Department of Justice has been weaponized to take guns away from veterans, but still at the same time, they just announced that they want to give guns to illegals. What do you think is going to happen when that happens?
Oh, total chaos.
They don't want veterans to be able to organize the people because they swore an oath to defend the Constitution against all invaders, foreign and domestic.
Wow.
So it's all part of the Cloward pivot plan. And that is to create a problem and then bring about a solution for it. You start giving guns to illegals. Now they're making them police officers in California. They're going to start doing that in different places. Baltimore just had $22 million cut from their police budget. There are certain parts of Baltimore right now that only have 3 police officers on duty at any given time.
Wow.
So what do you think is going to start happening? Oh, you want to be a U.S. citizen? Become a police officer.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I tell people this all the time. If you ever want to read one chapter of a book, it's a book called The Turner Diaries.
Okay.
If you remember back when Timothy McVeigh blew up
that's
the FBI building in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They said that was the blueprint for white supremacy and things of that nature. You read the very first chapter, and I guarantee you will put that chapter down and say, "Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness! Wow!"
All of the things, and this book was written in 1978.
That's a
all
while
the things
ago.
that we're experiencing right now with the influx of migrants, the taking away of our guns, putting minorities in charge of the police force, all happened in that book.
Wow.
In the first chapter.
She said the first chapter. Wow. Man, King Solomon, you got any questions for him? Because he's going to start going Migrant Crsisi, because he's out in Los Angeles, and he's gonna start doing. You got any questions for Dark
Yeah,
Star 44?
yeah. She's used the term um, business back to usual. When Biden had overturned everything that Trump did. So my question is there a different POV from Trump and Biden in regards to this immigration problem being a problem for America overall, as far as finances and just the imploding of it is going to be bad, or we perceive it to be bad. So do Biden know something that we don't, or is he like back up against the wall to do this?
It's all a part of the UN agenda. See, the UN, who are people that are not elected officials, made up this story that different countries, their population was unstable because of, the birth rate. So they came up with this idea that 60 million refugees from throughout the world needed to be dispersed throughout these different countries to stabilize the birth rates in those countries. And that's one of the reasons why Trump was like, no, you're dictating the sovereignty of this nation. I'm not going to allow you to do that. See, Obama was the one who originally started it.
Okay.
It was all a part of Agenda 21.
Okay.
To get 60 billion people who were refugees by 2025 in all of these advanced nations.
Well,
meaning the United States, the UK,
Canada,
the rest of Canada, the rest of Europe. That was the
Australia,
plan of the UN.
Because all these places right now, simultaneously at the same time, are all experiencing. We have people that listen to the channel from where they're from. They're not from England. They're from Dublin. What's Dublin? Dublin is Ireland. I've talked to them. I was in Belize a couple of weeks ago, and they were saying that they had an influx of refugees there, and they got them in the hotels. They have them in the shelter places, and it's causing all sorts of havoc there. And they said that's all throughout Europe, except for certain countries. I think countries like Poland that doesn't play, like their president don't play that, no immigration. They don't play that stuff.
The only people that Poland has allowed a small influx into their country is the Ukrainians.
Okay.
And that's because of the fact that Poland borders Ukraine.
Yeah.
So they've allowed a certain amount of Ukrainians in, but as a person who lived with a Polish woman for 18 years, they ain't let black people in Poland.
She said they ain't let black people in Poland.
Okay? They ain't having it. They are not letting these Africans in doggone Poland.
You got to go to another European country. They ain't going to work out for you there.
Hey, go to France. You speak French, go to France. You don't speak Polish over here. You don't speak Ukrainian.
Wow.
So why not come up with an alternative idea to resolve this UN idealism, in the sense of maybe there's unoccupied territories somewhere that they could put people, and they had the budget, because they coming up with it to house them now, and that could have been the budget to create an infrastructure in this new area, whatever. Why didn't you do something, come up with an alternative idea instead of this influx of citizens, of people in migration in countries where they already have, a population problem?
Well, this is the thing. It's because it's a part of the UN agenda. These countries are abiding by the UN agenda. You have somebody like Obama, who was a sweet talker to Trudeau, who basically said, look, we can make money off of this as a country. We've got all of this cheap labor. We're going to have an influx of children in the next 5, 10, 15 years to keep that influx of cheap labor going. Small business. The NGOs were like, hey, when Trump went in there and basically started building the border wall, making people stay in Mexico, the NGOs weren't making any money. Because they weren't being able to bring these migrants in and be able to disperse them throughout the United States. These NGOs, like Catholic Charities,
Mm-hmm.
the Methodist Charities,
Mm-hmm.
and all these other NGOs are getting anywhere between $45 and $50 million from the government.
Wow. Wow. And then, were you gonna say something? I was gonna say something about he asked me earlier, King Solomon, you asked me about the hotel situation. Tell them about the hotel situation. They're winning. The hotels are winning because they're at full capacity.
Well, like I gave a statistic earlier today,
Mm-hmm.
the Watson, the Row, and the Roosevelt,
Mm-hmm.
their total room capacity is 2,952 rooms at $300 a night. That's $26.6 million a month that those hotels are making.
They on this thing we call payday. You on payday? They on payday. They want this to last forever because
Exactly.
They want this to last forever.
But it's not just the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
They have, and goes back to the city of Chicago, and New York is doing the exact same thing. Remember, they were talking about the food, that they couldn't stand the food?
Yep.
They have, contracted out catering firms to be able to feed these people 3 times a day. So the catering companies are getting money.
Wow.
And you not think for 1 minute that the politicians are not getting their palms greased?
Yes, indeed. It goes hand in hand.
Exactly. One of the things that's going on in Chicago right now, they had a particular catering firm that they were paying millions of dollars to go in and feed these migrants. And the migrants were like, no, we hate the food. We hate the food. They had a couple of the Venezuelans that went out, took the money that the government was giving them. And this is back to the taco lady hustle.
Yeah.
They went out to the local grocery store, started buying food and cooking food for the people in the shelters.
Yep.
So not only is the government giving these people money, now you've got the migrants that are cooking their own food, selling it to the migrants, and the catering companies are still getting money because they're under contract.
Wow. And that's what they're...
Everybody and their brother has got their hands in this, except the American people. We're the ones paying for it.
And do you believe this will run up our taxes? Because I said something on a video today.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it's going to definitely bring up our taxes. Now they have a reason. They can justify why they can take more taxes out now. But we got to pay this debt back.
Exactly. The city of Houston is in debt. I think it's something like $126 million that the city of Houston is in debt.
How's that possible? Wow.
John Whitmore, who just took over as mayor of the city of Houston, he walked into an S-storm.
Mm-hmm.
Because now the city of Houston is in debt because of the influx of migrants over the last year that have come from places like Eagle Pass, that have come from El Paso. They've been going to the city of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Houston is, I would not be surprised between now and the end of the year, Houston declares bankruptcy.
Wow.
That's how bad it is in Texas.
It was too
And
much.
that slow migration from the south eventually spreads its way up north.
And they're here, and everything you said about them, like I'm here in New York, I'm documenting like almost every day, and not all the migrant women, but a nice little percentage of them have kids or are pregnant.
Mm.
So that will keep
that's
them.
the whole thing. It's an anchor baby.
Anchor baby.
Once that woman drops out that kid, forget about it. She is less likely to be deported because she has a child that's a U.S. citizen.
Yep.
Not to say that they can't be deported with a child that's a U.S. citizen, but they're unlikely to be deported because they have a child that's a U.S. citizen. Like I said, in my city, I can't swing a dead cat without hitting a Hindu.
Uh-huh.
But they're on the H-1 visa where their husbands come over.
Uh-huh.
They go back to their country for an arranged marriage.
Yeah.
Within a year that they're here, they're popping out a kid. So even if the husband loses his job, he's more apt to be able to stay in this country because he has a child that's a U.S. citizen.
That's true. Yeah, no judge is going to go against that. Like, that would make them feel bad to go against that. No judge is going to go against that. As long as the kid is a U.S. citizen, they're going to let the mom, the dad, like you said, that anchor baby is so valuable because now they can bring, for sure, they can bring all that line here.
Now, you remember that Venezuelan that was going around telling people that, working is for slaves and that you could go around and squat in a person's house and all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Well, apparently he lives in the Columbus, Ohio area.
Okay.
He has over 500,000 TikTok followers.
Wow.
But somebody ratted him out.
What?
They got CPS after him because he was basically taking his 1-year-old child and using her to be able to get money from people.
Wow.
So he's being investigated by Child Family Services.
You don't want them on your back.
Oh no, my sister worked at Child Family Services in the Bronx. No.
You don't want them on your back.
No, you don't. Because let me tell you something. My sister was 5'2" tall, and I'd stand back from that. Like, I'm gonna go over here in the corner, and I'm just gonna stand back. I don't want none of that smoke. And let me tell you something. My nephew, her son, that boy is 6'9" tall.
Wow, he can play ball for somebody.
Yeah, he played ball. And let me tell you something. She turned around and told him, I don't care if I got to jump up and hit you. I'm going to stand over here. I'm going to stand over here. She ain't hitting me. No.
Wow. They said Miss Harris was an anchor baby. Kamala Harris, the vice president, was an anchor baby. Urban said that.
Well, the thing is about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is now in charge of this new center for basically red flag laws. She's in charge of that. She too was an anchor baby. Her family were slave owners.
Wow.
She's from the Caribbean. Her father is Jamaican and her mother's Indian.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, wow. And she was,
for her to sit there and talk about, I was in the dorm smoking weed and listening to Tupac and Biggie, and she turned out to be the one person in California that would take all the weed smokers and putting them in prison.
Wow. After
What do you think she's going to do? What do you think she's going to do for the American veteran?
Nothing much. Nothing much. They've been overlooked too long.
That is one woman that I do not trust. And the thing is, Joe Biden only has to make it till August. If he makes it till August and decides that he wants to drop out of the race and Kamala Harris takes over as president, she can turn around and run for president against Donald Trump.
But do you think people would even be entertaining her? Would they even entertain her because they feel like, her and Joe Biden, wasn't a good combination and they didn't do good. They didn't do, right by the country. So what do you think?
What would you think would happen if Kamala Harris decides to take Michelle Obama as her VP?
She will win. That would be an ace in the hole. That would be an ace in the hole. They'll win. From a historical standpoint of view.
Everybody hates Hillary.
Yeah, that's true.
Michelle Obama.
They love her. Oh wow, that would be because then they would be thinking like, oh, if she's vice president, she can line herself up in a couple the next election or the election after become president of the United States. So you don't want to think. I'm glad you threw that out there because I'm like the Democrats got to be thinking some kind of chess move. They got to have a chess move because everybody just thinking like Trump is going to just walk into office like with the sun setting or something. And it's not going to be easy as you think it is.
I got to make sure I come back on with her again because I'm having more questions ready next time. My phone is about to die.
Okay.
I gotta charge it. I don't know how to reach for the charger without being on camera, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you gotta set something up. I can come back on. I'm gonna have more questions ready for her next time.
We'll set it up.
Sure, this is too
Yeah.
good because I'm trying to figure out how is this not going to be a problem, and yeah, this don't look too good how it's going to end. So I'm trying to figure out if they doing this on purpose. This is wow. Yeah,
it's not going to end good. Man, you threw an ace in the hole there, Dark Star 44. With if Biden, because Biden, everybody already know the guy's on the ropes. I'm not saying he's going to die or anything, but anybody with 2 eyes and 2 ears know he's not in the best health to run the country.
Yeah.
That's the facts that we do know.
Yeah. Because he'll pass out at any given time.
Yeah.
That's even now, you know.
So Obama always said that, hey, I want to be able to run the country for 4 more years, but I know I'd have to be sitting in a basement with a microphone in somebody's ear. Do you not think that is what's going on right now?
Yes,
everything
indeed.
Biden is doing right now is a continuation of what Obama did.
Wow.
Because that was his vice president. People forget that.
Yep.
People forget when Obama came in, he shined so much that people didn't really know who his vice president was, but that was actually his vice president.
So they can't use, as far as the election goes, they can't use COVID as an excuse like they did the last time for people to send in ballots. The American public's not going to fall for that.
No.
But you create enough it's going to tip off something, and guess what? We may have martial law declared before the election.
Wow.
And if that's the case, there will be no election.
Yeah. So when that happens, if they do have martial law applied, he gets another 4 years, he gets the next year. How do they play that out?
He could very easily postpone the election. He could drag it out as long as possible. Oh, the United States is too unstable to have elections right now. Look at what's happening in any third world country when it comes to elections.
Wow. It's chaotic.
Yep. And the thing is, like I was saying about Cloward and Pivot, if you create the problem, now you come up with solutions to the problem. See, the government wants us always to believe that the American people cannot succeed without the government.
Which is so far from the truth.
Yeah, but if you put that into somebody's mindset, take away their guns, now you've created chaos on the street. What are you going to ask for? The government to protect you.
That's true.
And I can't remember the quote offhand by Benjamin Franklin regarding safety. If you give up your freedom to the government for the most part, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve freedom. But I will look up that Benjamin Franklin quote and get that right. But
okay.
I'm trying to be as positive and optimistic as possible. And just take it day by day.
Yeah, you're right. They got something up their sleeve, 100%.
They have to.
But they know that that Biden might not make it or be able to do another term. They know that.
No. He's tripping over himself. He's getting lost. He's wearing special shoes to keep him from tripping over himself. And they're just trying to stretch him out as long as they can.
Yeah,
they really are, which is unfortunate because it's nothing more than elder abuse. Half the time, he doesn't even know where he is.
Yeah, like I said, that job should be for a guy 35 all the way to 65. I don't think at 55 you should be having that type of stress on you.
No.
And
I mean, you get people that are CEOs in companies that don't even make it to the age of 65. They're like, I'm taking early retirement. I'm out.
So this is
It's really a young man's position.
Yes, 40s, 50s, late 30s.
Yeah, I don't know what the Democratic Party has up their sleeve. All I know is look at the number of Republicans that are leaving office either in November or before November.
I mean, they control the Senate, the House, the Democrats.
Right now, there's a slim margin of Republican control in the House of Representatives. Mm-hmm. But they're trying to get rid of Lauren Boebert, who's a Republican from Colorado. Mm-hmm. Ken Buck, I believe his name is, from Colorado as well. Mm-hmm. They got another guy from Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. He's going to be leaving office. Mitch McConnell is going to be leaving. The Mitch McConnell from Kentucky, he's going to be leaving office. Mm-hmm. They just tried to bribe Carrie Lake in Arizona to keep her from running in the Senate in Arizona.
Wow.
And that was by the GOP. So when I talk about rhinos, mm-hmm. there are rhinos like your Mitch McConnells, your Mittens Romney from Utah. Mm-hmm. These people have been in power for so long that they are working on the side of the Democrats, which is we call the uniparty.
The unicorns, yeah.
Because of the fact that you've got the Democrats and then you got the rhinos that are helping them, and vice versa.
Wow. So
and let me tell you something about one of my senators, Cornyn, at least. He's getting on my damn nerves.
She said he's getting on my damn nerves. Yeah.
He wants to run as being the head senator, the head of the Senate, when Mitch McConnell retires. Mm-hmm. And like I'm saying, he's getting on my nerves.
Wow.
He's for red flag laws. He voted for the omnibus bill. All these things that he's doing, and he's doing it on the sly, and he thinks that nobody's watching him, but I'm watching him.
She said, I'm keyed in on you, bro. I watch what you're doing.
The only one that's in the Senate that seems to be standing up halfway on his feet is Ted Cruz.
Okay. And where's he from? I heard the name before.
Ted Cruz is from Texas.
Texas, okay.
But like I said, Cornyn is from my district.
Wow.
Senator Cornyn is from my district. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Wow. That's crazy.
Another representative, Veronica Escobar, who's from El Paso. Mm-hmm. She's actually a Democratic congresswoman. Mm-hmm. She's a pain. And then you have the Republican representative from the same area, Dan Crenshaw. Mm-hmm. He's a rhino.
And let them know what a rhino is, because some people might not know what a rhino is.
A rhino is a Republican in name only. That's what a rhino stands for. You're only a Republican in name. You're not doing the job of a true Republican, which is for the people.
Wow.
You're basically, a Democrat in disguise.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they control it so that always sways the vote.
Yep. I mean, Christian Sinema from Arizona, she switched from Democrat to independent, and she's leaving Congress. Mm. So I'm beginning to wonder how many of these Republicans that are retiring have they bought off?
It's a lot of them.
So what happens? It sways the House of Representatives to Democrat. They already got control of the Senate. If by some chance that Donald Trump does win, he's a lame duck president, and nothing is going to get through the House of Representatives to get to the Senate, to get to his desk for him to sign. Wow. Because it's going to be controlled by the Democrats.
Wow. And like you said,
so he's going to be forced to do everything by executive order. That's his only choice.
And it takes time to do that.
Look at what happened with Biden. When you had a Republican-controlled House, he knew nothing that he wanted was going to get through. Even though the Democrats controlled the Senate, he did everything by executive order, bypassing Congress.
Wow. It's not going to get better either. It's going to get worse.
I hope not. But like Jesse Jackson, I want to keep hope alive.
There's so much impact with this. What else I had to ask you about what was it, phillydom? Why they don't hire more people to speed up the process to get these people, the ones that they like the Venezuelans and the Ukrainians, that ones that can get working papers fast. Why they not speeding it up a little faster?
Well, because the Democrats are blaming the Republicans, saying, "Well, we tried to put forth, a progression in immigration, and the Republicans wouldn't go for it. And the reason why the Republicans in the House wouldn't go for it was because there was all this money that was attached to supporting Ukraine's war and attached to supporting Israel in their war. How are you going to give twice, if not three times as much money to Ukraine and Israel and don't support money for our own borders?"
That's
why the Republicans killed it.
Wow.
You're going to spend $1 trillion giving it to other countries and maybe spend a couple $100 million on the United States border. Now, let me tell you, all of the agencies in the United States, ATF, Border Patrol, Customs, Immigration, they're all hiring. In fact, when I did wake up, I got a thing in here that from ATF.
Oh, wow.
Border Patrol, because I filled out applications for ATF, Border Patrol. I always fill out applications for government agencies and stuff because of my background. And they're hiring. They've been trying to hire people since August of last year.
Wow.
So the federal government is hiring. Because they always, the reason why, I went to a job fair and they had all of the government agencies there. And the woman I would talk to from ATF, because she gave me some hints on different things to change in my resume before I submitted it. And she was like, "Well, get your resume in now. This is one of the reasons why they're doing the job fair, because after the first of the year is when, people retire and things of that nature, and they have that influx of people going, influx of people coming in for new positions because you have people that are retiring or changing positions within the government."
Because I know they need to hire people man, you're right. A lot of the government jobs are hiring, like the police. Well, that's state, but they're hiring. Border patrols look like they're at a all-time low, like I said, because they've overworked these guys these last couple of years, and they're like, "I'm letting the people in." That gets frustrating. And some of them really want to do their job. That's why they came on Border Patrol, to do their job, not let illegals in. So this is we're in a tough situation right now across the board.
If you go to USA, I think it's usa.jobs.gov. That's where all of the government jobs are listed. Let me see if I can find it.
This is interesting. Very interesting.
usajobs.gov. You go to that website, and that's where they have all of the announcements for the government jobs. Because the one that I had sent in for the ATF, the applications closed within 3 days. Announcement, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives. I applied for in industry operations investigator.
Mm-hmm.
The job closes for anybody to submit their application in 3 days.
Oh, wow.
So you can get on their email list. And they'll, you go onto the website, you put in your profile, and they'll just send you information, and you pick the different agencies that you want information about, and just go on there periodically, and you see a job that you like, all you have to do is attach your profile to that job application. You don't even have to refill out the application because it attaches everything to it.
Okay, it makes it even easier.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have my profile, my resume, cover letters, and stuff like that. And the one thing that the woman from ATF said, if you have acronyms within your resume, write it out.
Okay.
Like one of the things that I have is my OSHA certification. She says even write out the acronym OSHA.
Wow.
Because I think what's happening right now is because they're doing a lot of. She says that people that review these applications don't always know what these acronyms mean. So spell it out. I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I think that they're utilizing AI to be able to scan these applications and these resumes. That's what I think they're doing.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they're still finding more and more places to make migrant facilities here in New York.
Yeah.
They'll take any place and put a whole bunch of migrants there. They don't care no more.
No, they don't, which is unfortunate because you look at the amount of people that are homeless on the streets of New York and they're not giving them places to live, but still 7-8 months they have these people living in hotels and everything else, these illegals living in these hotels, and you've got veterans and homeless people living on the street.
That's a smack in the face to the homeless and to what I'm gonna say. That's a smack in the face to the homeless and the vets, and our elderly. Because we have a bunch of elderly people in the country too. I think that's the three biggest things are the elderly, the homeless, and obviously the vets for serving. And they not getting nowhere near that type of money.
No, and the worst part about it, I listened to a speech from Brandon Johnson in Chicago. And he sat there with a grin on his face talking about 1 in 4 homeless people. Was it 1 in 4? I think he said 1 in 4 homeless people that are on the street are African American. Will experience some homelessness, within their lifetime. And he sat there with a grin on his damn face, talking about it like it was no joke. In fact, if you go to Ford Boss Me, he actually downloaded Brandon Johnson's speech.
Wow.
The town hall that he did. It's like 27 minutes long or something like that. And then the reaction of the people that got up to speak.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Remember he went and he videoed the protest that they did of taking over Gage Park?
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
They took it down.
Those people are getting their park back.
Oh, they are? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not California, Chicago fights back. Chicago is definitely one of the places that fights back. The guy that was on here, he's from Chicago. King Solomon, he's from Chicago.
He's originally from Chicago?
He's really from Chicago, yeah. He grew up there, and I guess in high school he left. But he was like that. They're like it's like a real blue collar city. He said, and he was saying that a lot of people have like factory jobs and wherever they work, they have what you call it, man? They have the what are the people that fight for you? The when you work at a job,
Unions?
yeah, the
Unions?
union, yeah, the unions, yes. He said that's the Midwest. He said that's how the Midwest. So he said like so when these migrants come in and they giving them all these extra perks and these people work 20, 30 years at a job and he said, oh, they're not having it. They just not having it.
You know, and it's sad. It really is sad that you get somebody like Brandon Johnson now is gonna, because it's an election year, he's gonna throw these people a bone. Oh, I sigh. I didn't mean to do it. I'll give you back your part. Don't worry. Why? Because he wants to save as much face as possible.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. I'm still here. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna have to run to the bathroom. I'll let you talk to them for a second. I'll be right back.
Sure, go ahead, man.
First time ever going alive, I had to go to the bathroom. First time ever.
Want me to turn on some water for you?
I'm back. I was like, where did he go? Where did he go?
Everything come out okay?
Yeah, it was fast. It was fast. Yeah.
Oh, I got to tell you an interesting thing that happened to me the other day. This happened last Wednesday, I think it was. I'm in my apartment, and I happened to be. It was in the middle of the day, and I heard somebody at the front door, but they didn't knock.
They didn't knock.
So they didn't knock. They were like trying the door handle. So the first time it happened, I thought, well, maybe it's my neighborhood squirrel looking for food. You know, Rocky the squirrel looking for food. And then a couple seconds later, I heard it again. Okay. So I put my clothes on. I get my weapon ready.
I'm about to say, I knew you did that.
And I'm waiting. Then I heard it a third time.
Wow.
And I said, okay, we're going to see what this is all about. So I heard somebody start to go, because I'm on the second floor, I heard somebody start to go down the stairs. So I opened the stairs and said, what do you want? Now, I never pointed my weapon at him. I had my weapon at the low ready. And he was like, I hear, I work. But I said, why are you here? So he goes, the carpet. I come change your carpet. I said, I have no work order for you to change my carpet. No, speak English. So I asked him in Spanish, what are you doing here? This guy turned around and act like he didn't speak Spanish.
Okay.
And I said, oh, okay. And I told him, you need to go get a work permit.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and let the office know before you come to my door.
Wow.
So I go to the office, the leasing office, the next day because I had to calm down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I overstand this.
So I asked them, I said, did you send somebody to my apartment to change out my carpet? And they're like, no.
Wow.
And I said, and he says, well, did you have a work order in? I said, no, I don't have a work order request for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, maybe there was something, that there was an emergency and that the neighbor, had a leak in his apartment from your apartment and they needed to change out the carpet or they needed to find out where the leak was coming from.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I said, I have no leak in my apartment. And I said, and I talked to my downstairs neighbor and he didn't put in a work order because he said there was no leak.
Wow.
So they basically tried to BS me. So I went across the street to the grocery store and it just so happened the police were there.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to a police officer. I told him what happened. I said, I didn't put in a requisition. The leasing office didn't have an emergency where they needed to send somebody. My neighbor said that there wasn't anybody or, anything leaking out of my apartment into their apartment.
Yeah.
And the officer said, he says, well, what we're going to do is we're going to treat this as an attempted breaking and entering.
Wow. Which they should.
Which they should. And is a very, very nice guy. And I got to, hats off to Officer Mitchell in the city of Irving. He's probably one of the sweetest guys in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's looking for a boyfriend, he is single.
That's cool.
He is single. He's in his early 30s, and he's built like a brick. Okay. So just anybody in the Irving, Texas area that's looking for a decent man, I figure I'd throw that out there for him.
Yeah. Give him some. Give him a plug. Give him a plug.
Give Officer Mitchell a plug. But the point of the matter is that you have these apartment complexes that act like you're the one who's doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And that's the thing. Everybody's like, well, Texas has all these laws and everything else that's 4-2A. But at the same time, when you have apartment complexes or HOAs that try to put restrictions on what you can and cannot do. And I told the guy from the leasing office, I said, I was standing in my apartment with my gun in my hand and the load ready. I said, I never once pointed it at him.
But you let him know I'm not going to play that. I don't know what game you're playing. If you came to the wrong apartment.
You came to the wrong, well, it could have been this person. I said, normally the apartment complex has a uniform shirt that they wear, the maintenance people.
Yeah.
I said, he wasn't wearing a uniform shirt. I said, and the thing is, I said, even though he was wearing street clothes, and I gave a description of the guy, I said his pants weren't dirty. You're going to be doing maintenance. You're going to look at a person's shoes, and you're going to look at their pants, and you're going to look at their hands to see if they're dirty. I said, there wasn't a speck of dirt on him. And I said, why did he have a cup of soda and a bag of fries?
Wow.
I told the guy, it was a young black kid too. I'd say in his mid-20s, early 30s. And I said, don't play me. I ain't stupid.
Yeah. Something wasn't right with that. Definitely.
No, it wasn't. But I did tell the guys, you can't come back here to get into this apartment without a work request. So like I said, when I talked to police and they said, well, we're gonna treat it as an attempted, breaking and entering. And he says the next time it happens and somebody's jiggling your door to try to, get into your room and they're not knocking on the door, hey, maintenance. He says, just call us.
Wow.
Just call us. And like I said, I just happen to be home in the middle of the day.
From what the story you tell me and my street sense, I think he was trying to break into your apartment. He figured that you was at work.
Oh, yeah.
But he just happened to go to the wrong apartment and you just happened to be there at that time. I think he was going to try to break in your apartment.
Well, I think, too, that what a lot of these people do is they go around to different apartments and they see if the doors are unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
Or if the door jam is loose where they can just push it open to be able to get in.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he was anticipating the deadbolt being on.
Aha. So that threw him off. He's probably, yeah, but would you call it a cat burglar? One of them burglars that go there to sneak in your house, take a whole bunch of stuff, and then leave. Have anybody got robbed? Probably in your complex. Anybody ever got robbed in a complex, like their house got invaded?
Well, the leasing office is not going to divulge that information, number one. And when I talked to Officer Mitchell, he was just like, we've had some complaints of suspicious people, in the two complexes, because there's like 3 complexes right in a row.
Okay.
And, he was like, well, the one next door, over here is, had some complaints of suspicious people. And because I told him about them this one kid out here trying to, break into cars out here one morning. And I was about ready to light his behind up. Just like, what are you doing? Go home. It's 4 a.m.
Wow, that's crazy.
But like I said, you've got these influx of immigrants, and the first thing they want to do is they want to play, oh, I know speak English.
Well, okay.
I mean, that's why we got Google Translate on our phones.
You can speak any language with them. You can speak.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, I think, he was trying to rob or see what place he could get into. That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, I do too. I really do.
Yeah, because if the leasing place didn't know what was going on, because like you said, they got to have some kind of list or some kind of schedule. They just don't let nobody go there. They would have to know, like, okay, this person requested this.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I could see you have a third party, contractor that comes in and does certain jobs and stuff of that nature. It's not always just the complex maintenance that does things.
Mm-hmm. That's true too.
Because they're not skilled and equipped to do everything within a complex.
That's true.
Because we've been having some water issues, especially after we had the cold freeze that went through here. We had some frozen pipes and stuff of that nature. But the point is that you have to be safe at all times, even sitting in your home. And I told the people in the leasing office, I said, look, I said, it makes me very paranoid now.
Yeah, I would be too.
I mean, I got bear spray standing by my door. I told myself maybe I should get a paintball gun and put the paintballs in the doggone freezer, and then when somebody comes to my door, just light them up.
Hit them. They'll be freezing. Like, ooh.
I hit you with that bear spray. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Because after I hit you with that bear spray, I'm kicking you down a flight of stairs.
You're going to be all hurt. You ain't able to see and hurt all at the same time.
Because I always keep Joe Pesci in the hall closet over here.
Uh-huh.
And you don't know who Joe Pesci is. I used to play semi-professional softball.
Okay.
Joe Pesci was my baseball bat.
Yeah. He said, I'll get you a couple ways. Wow. Wow.
You remember that scene from Casino where they're like, don't kill him, he's already dead.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I keep Joe Pesci nearby, but because I try to look at situations of being less than lethal.
Wow.
But it's sad that the situations have gotten so dire in certain areas, especially here in Texas.
Uh-huh.
And I live in a gated community.
Yeah. You're not like living in the hood or anything like that, or in Dallas in one of them like bad areas.
No. In fact, they just changed out on our gate that when you come up to the gate, it's all cameras now.
Okay. So they can see.
I can literally look and see, like if you were to come and the gate's closed and I need to let you in, there's a camera there for me to go on my phone to see what you look like before I let you in.
Wow. That's fair. At least you make sure, because who's coming in or what they're doing.
I mean, we have private security. We have a private security patrol in our neighborhood, in addition to the police department.
Wow.
You know, and that's why I tell people, you know, find out what the laws are in your district. Know what you can and cannot do, because the thing that bothers me, that kind of scares me a little bit, especially with this coming summer, blackouts.
Yep.
Especially people in New York, the power goes out, you got all those illegals there. What do you think is going to happen if the power goes out?
Crime. They're going to commit crimes.
They can get away with things now that they're doing. What do you think they're going to do under the cover of darkness? Because
you remember that time in New York when they have a blackout for like a day or two? It was in the early, I got to pull my memory back. I'm going to say around like 2002, 3. They had a big blackout.
See, I moved here 2008, but there was another one. Central to Yankee Stadium. So my friend and I, her and I had been friends since grammar school. We were walking back from Yankee Stadium, and like dummies, we decided to hang out at the bar till it got late. And we're walking back, and the power went out.
Wow.
Now you have to realize, I'm a black woman. I don't care. I'm a black woman. I'll walk through Harlem.
Yeah.
But she was a white woman, blonde hair, blue eyes. The difference being, we went to the same grammar school, Irish Catholic grammar school. I lived in a predominantly all-white Irish neighborhood. She lived in Auburn Hills section, which was the ghetto.
Wow.
And so we were coming back. Now we're stuck in Harlem. The lights are out. First thing we did, I had a hoodie. And so we switched. I gave her my hoodie. She tied her hair back. She put that hoodie up, stuck them hands in them pockets.
Yeah.
Cover that face. Just keep walking.
You make it look a little tough. Yeah, like, okay. Wow.
Yeah, but when you're used to living in that climate, in that environment, you know the things that you got to do to survive.
Yeah, because if they don't see you, they're not going to bother with you.
Exactly. Especially you got a hoodie over your face and you walking, trying to be on the DL.
Yeah, they're going to think.
You're like, oh, you look suspect.
She looks suspect. She got some kind of weapon on her. She's going to do something. She's going to cause some problems. So let's just let her be.
And even the fact that I know in New York City, there's very few things that you can carry. From what I understand, that you can't even have mace in New York City, from what I understand. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can't have mace. No, they take it away from you in New York City. You can't have it.
Well,
who came up with that bright idea?
The thing that I do is
in New York,
get a high-powered flashlight.
Wow.
Somebody comes up to you, because like my brother's always told me, if you cannot see, if you cannot breathe, and you cannot walk, you cannot fight.
Yep, that's true.
Take that flashlight, stick it right in their face, blind them.
That's true.
You can't see. They have the ones with the strobe light. Like I have a small flashlight that's on my keychain that has a strobe light on it. I stick that in your doggone face, you're going to get a little bit disoriented. That's going to give me an opportunity to either fight or fly.
But at least gives you time to get out of there.
Exactly. You know, and you know, those are the things that, you know, hey, worst comes to worst, ball peen hammer.
Yeah, that's true.
They can't get mad at you for carrying a ball peen hammer, and I learned that from the Hells Angels.
No, you're 100% right about that. They had an incident in New York. You know, a lot of stuff is getting suppressed now. It looked like it was a migrant trying to take somebody's, another female's cell phone. And what the female did was she had like a rope. It might have. It might have even been her charger wire. I couldn't tell what it was,
Could have
but
been.
she wrapped it around this guy's neck, dragged him off of his scooter, and he couldn't fight her because he was choking out. And she was like telling the people to call the cops. Like people were running up trying to help her. She like, don't help me, call the cops. I got him under control. And she was like choking him out.
Well, my
Choking
brother said
him
that he used to
out.
tell me that anything can be used as a weapon.
That's true. Wow.
I don't care if it's. I have what I normally try to carry with me. I have a steel pen.
Mm-hmm.
It writes just like a normal pen, but it's made out of steel.
Mm-hmm.
You can use that like a Kubaton. I can take this pen on an airplane.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You gotta protect yourself, especially.
You gotta, and the reason why it makes me so nervous because my stepmom still lives in the Bronx. I've got nephews and nieces and stuff that still live in the Bronx and everything, and I just want them to get out of New York. I really do.
When
I know my stepmom is the type of woman that would probably be there till the day she dies.
Yeah, I'm about to say some people like die hard. Like my daddy's die hard in Philadelphia. He's from Haiti, but he's lived in Philly probably like 40 years now. Like he's gonna die in Philly. Like they ain't gonna they just love where they live. I don't know why.
Even if you got to carry a metal pipe, a wooden dowel rod, anything that you can use as a weapon to be able to defend yourself, because they strip you of your ability to defend yourself in New York.
Yeah, I don't know why
these illegals, these migrants know it.
Yes, they do. That's probably why so many people have knives. Everybody has knives in New York. Everybody has knives. Everybody's getting stabbed. Everybody's what else do they use something else? But yeah, they can't have spray. They can't have pepper spray there. I don't know who came up with that bright idea, but that was a bad idea.
Well, I think it goes back to the whole premise of stop and frisk when Giuliani was in office.
Okay, yeah, he cleaned up the city.
I mean, he did. He did clean up the city. He cleaned up a lot, especially the Times Square area, because like I tell you, we used to go down there and hang out in Times Square, go down to Washington Square Park, go cop some weed, look at the hookers on 42nd Street,
Yeah, different
the duty booths that they used to have.
Yeah, I remember. I'm from the same generation. I remember
all that too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, but it stripped the people of their ability to be able to defend themselves. And we have to have a different mindset. I play scenarios in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be at the checkout, checking out my groceries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, what's going to happen if this happens if I walk out the door? Like I walked out the grocery store door and I don't ever park my car. I don't care how many parking spaces. I never park my car directly in front of the door of any establishment, whether it be a grocery store, restaurant, bar. I never park my car directly in front. And the reason being is if stuff goes down, I want to be able to get far away, get to my vehicle, and I'm not caught in a traffic jam trying to get away.
You're smart. No, you're smart. You're smart to do that. Some people don't think like that. Some people, I got friends that I grew up in Philly. Like when they go to restaurants, he has to be positioned at a certain point in the restaurant. He's like, no, we can't get that seat. I'm like, why? Because he has to.
Because I don't want to sit with my back to the door.
Yes, he don't want his back. He wants to see what's coming in so he can react if he has to react to something.
And that's the thing. I've been in some active shooter drills, and the first thing that they did, it was me and another woman, because they give you these cards and everything, and they tell you different areas that you're supposed to go to during these active shooter drills. And they put me and this woman in a bathroom, and I'm sitting in the bathroom and I'm pacing back and forth, She's like, what's the matter? It's just a drill. I said, do you not understand that we're sitting ducks in this bathroom?
Yeah, you gotta.
I said, if somebody comes through that door, if we're not able to lock this door, we're like fish in a barrel over here.
Yeah.
There's no window to get out. There's only one way out. So I'm looking up under the cabinet. She's like, "What are you looking for?" I said, "I'm looking for any kind of bleach, cleaner, anything that I can use as a weapon. I take bleach and throw it in your face.
You're
Guess
done.
what? You ain't seeing anytime soon."
Yeah.
I'm looking for other weapons that I can utilize out of this battle.
You're smart. You're
And she's
smart.
like, "Oh, I never thought of that." I'm always constantly thinking of what if scenarios.
Yeah.
I walked out of the grocery store. I was heading toward my car, which I normally park in a certain area of the parking lot.
Uh-huh.
And there was a van, a big, huge white van that was parked next to my Jeep.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "I'm not going into my car right now. I'm going to sit over here on this bench for a little while and see who comes in, out, if they move that van."
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing for me to try to put something in my Jeep, and next thing you know, van door opens, snatch me up, or somebody gets out and tries to rob me, because now the van is sitting next to my Jeep. It's blocking the view from the camera.
That's true. You move like a military personnel.
So I sat there on that bench outside the grocery store, sat there on my phone. I see what phillydom is up to, you know.
Wow.
And I sat there and I waited. Now, yeah, I had a knife, a gun, pepper spray, and everything else. But why take that chance?
Yeah, that's true.
Why take the chance of possibly being overwhelmed?
That's true. You like it just doesn't look right. If something happens, they can grab me. Nobody can see me. I might not be able to
You're
scream.
not going to be able to see it from the camera and all this other stuff. I didn't have my dash cam in my car that particular day because I was only just going here to pick up a couple of things. Because my dash cam has motion sensors, so if you touch my car, the dash cam comes on. But I didn't happen to have it in there that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, let me just hang out for a little while, see what happens.
Wow.
You know, you always got to constantly think, even when I'm at the ATM, same thing. What if somebody comes up to me and tries to rob me in the ATM? Or what if somebody tries to rob me when I'm at the gas station?
That's true. You're 100% right. You got to be on your P's and Q's.
Especially now, we've had too many people. In fact, I can send you a video. It's a video, and you might be able to look it up, or it's a short. A Brinks driver got robbed at a bank here in Irving, Texas.
Wow.
In broad daylight.
That's
and
crazy.
And the worst part about it, I had just applied to Brinks for a position.
Wow.
And this guy gets robbed in broad daylight.
You're like, oh, next company.
I'm like, nah, maybe I'll decline that offer if they send it to me.
Wow.
He got robbed at gunpoint in broad daylight, and then they stripped his pants off of him.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, if you look it up, it's a robbery in Irving, Texas.
Wow. She said they stripped him.
And then you got this Hispanic guy who's videotaping the whole thing. And people are getting mad at him, and it's like, call the police,
Yeah, next time, call the police, man. Stop trying to be a YouTuber.
But it's sad. That's one of the reasons why I try to keep my dash cam in my car, because I can always take that, use that as a camera, and still be able to use my phone.
Wow. You see what Deborah said? She said, put your regular pepper in something and you can throw that at them. They can't arrest you for regular pepper.
Put your regular pepper in something and you can throw it at them.
Yeah.
They can't arrest you. I'm not worried about being arrested. because you're allowed to have pepper spray. You were allowed. They had like a restriction on one time that the size knife that you could carry. You can walk down with you can walk the streets with a samurai sword on your back in Texas now, and they won't pull you over for that.
Well, at least they letting you guys protect yourself, because every state doesn't have that same, flexibility.
No.
People, and we know about Texas. That's what I said. I don't know why that guy would try to come in your house and take the chance of somebody being there like this. They just don't. He must not know about Texas.
And that's the thing. Like, I lived in Connecticut a majority of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got very strict laws, and now, they have FOIA cards and all this other stuff regarding guns and everything. And I used to have when I lived in Connecticut, I had a little 22 rifle, but I mainly had it to keep the coyotes at bay for the most part. And, to scare the occasional bear I used to get in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it was a point of you could have a gun in your home, even if it wasn't registered. As long as you weren't carrying it in public, it was no big deal because you were using it for home defense. But the laws now have gotten so ridiculous in New York and Connecticut and Rhode Island and stuff of that nature that I would feel so naked going back to the Northeast.
Wow.
Because I can't carry a weapon.
Yeah, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything.
And I would have to go back to the basics. I would have to go back to rudimentary things. Well, what can I carry with me that's inconspicuous that I can use as a weapon?
That would get a little tricky.
No, a beer bottle works well on a bar too.
Oh my goodness.
No, you laugh. I had a guy who was a friend of mine, got drunk and stupid. I was sitting there with my cousin. I had just come back from my golf lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And him and I were talking. He got drunk and stupid. And he decided that he was going to grab my behind as he walked out the door.
Wow.
And I let it slide. And my cousin was like, "Cuz, let it slide. He's going out the door." I said, "All right." I hadn't even finished my beer. 10 minutes later, he comes back in. The bartender, because he was sitting next to me, the bartender took his drink, put it all the way down to the other end of the bar and said, "No, you're going to leave her alone, okay? Because you're drunk, stupid, you had too much." He says, "And I'm not serving you any more alcohol." I got up off my chair and I was getting ready to go to the ladies' room. And before that, he got very indignant, started calling me the B word, calling me the N word, all this other stuff. And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, dude." So I get off of my chair, I get ready to go to the bathroom, and he jumped up off the chair like he was going to hit me.
Wow.
I laid him out with a beer bottle.
He'll never do that again, even if he was
No,
drunk.
they took him to the hospital. He had to have 12 stitches to close the wound in his face.
Wow.
So I'm in the bathroom. My girlfriend comes over and she's banging on the door. And she's like, "Did you see what you did to Todd?" I'm like, "He got what he deserved, plain and simple." And she was like, "Get your stuff, get in the car, and go home. You can come back and pick me up later, or I'll have somebody else drop me off at the house. But right now, you need to get in the car and leave before the cops show."
Wow. Wow.
And then he tried to have me pay for his hospital bill. He wanted everybody that was in the bar at the time to be a witness that I assaulted him for no reason. He even went up to my cousin like, "Well, you know that, even though you're her cousin, you were a witness to what happened."
Oh my goodness. Like your cousin gonna help him out.
Oh yeah, my cousin is a mortician.
Yeah.
Okay, and he turned around and told me, he says, "Look, Todd, what you did was straight up wrong." It says, "You need to leave my cousin alone, because if not, I may have to bury you with another body in somebody else's coffin."
Wow.
It's kind of a 2-for-1 sale if you don't knock it off.
Yeah.
You're gonna piss her off.
Wow.
But people get drunk, they get stupid. You gotta fight your battles. You gotta pick your battles.
That is true. You gotta pick and choose them. Definitely, you gotta pick and choose them.
And my whole thing is I don't want to be paranoid every time I walk out the door.
Yeah, it's not the way to live.
You know, I want to be on condition yellow when I walk out the door. You got condition green for the most part. You're in the house. You're doing your thing. You walk out the door, condition yellow. You're looking around corners. You're looking to see who's around your vehicle. You know, I even take a little duck up underneath the vehicle because I got these wild rabbits around here. These wild rabbits that like to come out and like, you know, jump at my dog on sneakers. You know, and I do. I take a look in the back seat before I get in the car to make sure nobody's in the back seat.
No, that's a good thing to do because that's a lot. That happens a lot more. It happens more than we think it does.
It does. You know, and like I said, with the amount of migrants that are in the United States,
And some we know.
especially in New York,
And some are criminals because we know because they're doing criminal stuff. So, no, you got to protect yourself even more.
you got to, especially if there's a power outage. I have these power banks to be able to charge my phone, charge my AirPods. I bought a little mini solar generator.
Okay.
And it's enough to be able to charge all of those items. I can have lights in the house in case the power goes out. And I have a 100-watt solar panel that I can stick out on my balcony and recharge that generator.
Okay.
You know, and I got it for the purpose of in case we have a power outage.
Wow.
You know, the whole set cost about like $400. I got it for a little over $100 only because of the fact that I had my Amazon points, and most of it got paid for with Amazon points.
Wow.
But people need to start thinking along those lines of what if. I'm in my apartment, especially in New York City. What if the power goes out? Can I charge my phone in case of an emergency and I got to dial 911?
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
I mean, you can get some of these little, I have one battery charger that's solar powered. And it's enough to be able to charge my phone. I got another one that's a plug-in that I can plug into the wall and charge my phone. I got a little mini one. It's called the iWalk.
Okay.
And it just plugs in to the bottom of my iPhone. It gives me enough power. If I'm not using the phone, I can probably charge up my phone completely charge up my phone if it's dead in about an hour.
That's not bad at all. Wow, that's fast.
Yeah, it's called the iWalk.
The iWall. You hear that, guys? The iWall.
Yep, it's a little mini battery charger for the iPhone. You could probably buy an adapter to fit it into like a Galaxy or, you know, a Samsung along because they use the C plug. But you know, it fits in my iPhone, and I use it all the time. I keep it charged, and especially if I'm out on the balcony or whatever, and I don't want to get the cord or whatever, I just bring my little iCharger out there and just charge it, and I don't have to worry about a cord.
Wow.
You know, I got cords and stuff that I keep in my vehicle. But like I said, I can just slip that in my pocket with my phone, and if it starts to go dead or whatever, I can just put it in there, and I'm pretty much good.
Wow.
But it's all about communication.
100%.
Being able to call somebody to help you.
Wow. I'm looking at the
I'm
comment.
going to be doing some other things regarding some other personal communication in case of a power outage. Because sometimes what I do is I have to do a siren test. I volunteer for my club to do a tornado siren test.
Okay.
So we have to make sure that the tornado sirens, or what we used to call the air raid sirens, are functional the first Wednesday of every month at a certain time.
Okay.
So you go out to the site, you observe the air raid siren or the tornado siren to make sure that it's spinning, to make sure that you have a siren that you can hear, stuff of that nature. But I communicate through the rest of the group by ham radio.
Yeah, you were saying that, and most people think that's like outdated, and they don't do that. But that'll help you, like you said. But if it's a power outage, you'll know what's going on with the news, and you also know what's going on, whatever else is going on around you, because you have that.
Yeah, because it might be something that's locally isolated. It might be on my side of town where something's happening, but it may not be happening on the other side of town.
So this will let you know where it's happening at and how bad
Yeah,
it is.
in fact, I'm waiting for them. I actually have a police scanner. Because most of the police scanners here in Texas, most of the districts are encrypted.
Okay.
But the police scanner that I have is what's called P25. It basically decodes encrypted scanners.
I know what it does now. Wow.
So I can listen to local police frequencies even though they're encrypted.
Oh, wow.
And even though the reason why the police, a lot of police have gone to encryption is because the bad guys were buying scanners and listening to the police frequencies to find out where police are, if they commit a crime, to see if police are being dispatched to that area so they know how long they have to commit their crime and get out of the area before police show up.
Wow.
That's why the police went to encryption. And like, what's the guy? NYC. The radio that I was talking about, the Baofeng radio, he has one of those and he uses that as a scanner because evidently in the area that he was in Queens, it's not encrypted. So you can actually use that Baofeng radio as a police scanner.
Oh, wow.
Because it does multiple frequencies. It will do what's called family radio, FMRS. It'll do GMRS, which is like a little bit broader. It'll also do ham radio frequencies, and it will do marine frequencies. So if somebody's out there in the sound, in the boat, you can pick up marine frequencies on it as well.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
And like I said, it's only like $20, $25.
It's pretty cheap. Wow. I might get one down the road just to have it in case I go somewhere.
The last time I went home, I actually brought both. I've got so many handy talkies around here, it's not even funny. I brought two of them home with me in my carry-on.
Okay.
Because if I got in a situation where let's say I got home or there was emergency at LaGuardia or whatever, I could still have some sort of communication, or I could listen to some sort of communication even though the cell towers are down. Because when 9/11 happened, the cell towers were on top of Tower 1. There was no cell phone service when 9/11 happened. That's why there was no communication. The only communication that they have the day of 9/11 was amateur radio.
Wow.
Yeah, because the cell towers were on Tower 1.
Wow.
So you had people with ham radios, they had marine radios. That's why they were sending boats in from places like Rhode Island and Connecticut to the city to evacuate people from the city. Because they were using amateur radio.
Wow.
See, I volunteer to do emergency communication for the city of Irving.
Okay.
So we put up antennas. In fact, at our shack, they just put up another antenna on our shack for emergency communication. The other antenna that we have is up on Baylor Hospital in the city of Irving. So that if the power goes out, the grid goes out, we can still use amateur radio for the hospitals to be able to speak to each other. It's called a mesh node.
A mesh node.
Yeah. So the police can talk to the hospitals, the police can talk to fire department and ambulance. You can get information. Let's say your hospital is, your doctor is 20 miles away. As long as there's national communication, they can get information regarding your medical records to a hospital here on Earth.
I guess it does play its purpose then. It does play its purpose.
It does, when all else fails, there's always amateur. We have a saying, when all else fails, there's amateur radio.
That's true.
And we live by that because we live by that. We live it every single day because we know what it's like. When they had the Boston bombing, I'm actually a member of MRC, the Medical Reserve Corps.
Okay.
MRC, the members of MRC in Boston were at the Boston Marathon. And the reason why there was so many people that could give first aid on the spot is that the bombing took place at the end of the marathon, not at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And all the medical people were there.
And all the medical people were there. You had Red Cross, you had MRC, you had all these medical people.
They just jumped right into action. Wow.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
And that's one of the reasons why I became a member of the MRC.
That's a good reason to do it. Definitely a good reason.
Especially when all the training is for free.
You can't beat that.
A lot of people don't realize that a lot of the training that's offered by various cities, whether it be CERT, which is the Community Emergency Response Team, whether it's MRC, which is the Medical Reserve Corps, all of the training that they give you is Department of Defense approved, and it's for free.
Wow. So you might as well take advantage of that.
I love free. I don't know about you.
I like free too.
If it's free, it's for me. And first aid, CPR, all of these courses that you can get. We have something that's called Web EOC, which is what I was telling you about that mesh node system. The DOD offers that course for free. I'm trying to think of what we do, which is called CBRE, chemical explosive radiation training.
Okay.
So if there's a dirty bomb that goes off, we know what to do. We know how to set up all of the equipment and everything else. All of that CBRE training I got for free. The explosives one, that course was 3 hours long. The woman who taught the course was an emergency doctor at Baylor Hospital. She could have talked for 8 hours just on dealing with explosives.
Oh, wow, that would have to be mind-blowing.
And like I said, you look into your local agencies, you can find these trainings for free. I know people don't have a lot of time. Everybody's working, a job, 2 jobs sometimes. But just go online and look into these different agencies and see what courses you can take for free.
She's kicking some knowledge right now, guys. She's putting some knowledge on the table for you right now.
And I tell people all the time, I come from a medical background. My family, my stepmom's a nurse, my sister's a nurse, my sister-in-law is an LPN, my niece is a nurse. I got 2 nieces that are medical technologists. So I got my dad worked for the coroner's office.
Oh yeah, he was all over.
If there's nothing you can do, a lot of people think, well, if I take CPR and everything, I'm not going to be helping somebody out in the street. For the most part, you're not. But you're going to be helping a family member. You're going to be helping a neighbor who might be choking on a chicken bone. Somebody that gets a laceration.
That's true.
You're going to be doing that for people that you love, for the most part. Not Tom, Dick, and Harris out in the street.
That's true. Everybody is not there to help you. So the streets are mean.
I don't know how many times, that little boo-boo kid from my little niece and nephew. Oh, baby's got a boo-boo. Let auntie fix it.
Wow.
That it starts at home.
It does.
It starts, I worked as a vet assistant when I was in college.
Mhm.
You know how many bandages I wrapped for my freaking dog because he cut his pad on some glass out there on the sidewalk?
Wow. A lot.
It's not about badgering people. It's about being aware. It's also about the fact that we are living in troubled times right now.
Yes, indeed. 100%.
Get all the information that you can. You can go on YouTube and somebody will show you how to use an Israeli bandage.
Yep.
How to properly, pack a wound. I've taken advanced first aid, and it mainly deals with, it's called the Stop the Bleed course,
Mm-hmm.
where you have knife wounds and gunshot wounds and stuff like that, and how to pack a wound and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the fact that I'm a gun owner, concealed carry holder,
Mm-hmm.
I have to learn how to do those things because I may be on the end of that issue, or somebody I know may be on the end of those issues,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to learn how to take care of them.
100%. You're 100% right. So the more you know, the better you're equipped, especially like you said, for friends and family. At least if you know it, you can even help your friends and family. Every now and then help a stranger.
I tell people, learn what you can while you can. Because it's better to have it and not need it
Mm-hmm.
than to need it and not have it.
You're 100% right about that.
Summer is coming.
It's going to be a little different.
I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to tell people to be paranoid, but just be aware of your surroundings. Because let me tell you something: the people that they let go into this country, a lot of people that come from Venezuela are good people.
That's true.
The bad people that came from Venezuela were the people they were trying to get away from.
And now some of them are in the States right now.
Exactly. You've got cartel members that are in the States. You've got Venezuelan gangs that are in the state. You've got MS-13 in the state. Look at Long Island. Long Island is filled with MS-13 people, and now they're starting to migrate across from Long Island into Connecticut.
Oh my God, that's not good.
I got one knucklehead cousin. He ain't too bright. And he runs with MS-13. I'm like, dude, you just got out of prison for running guns. Why are you hanging out with these guys that you know are MS-13 members?
Yeah, so it's not a good look. It's not going to work out good for you, especially if you've already been in trouble.
You get a cop that turns around, sees you and an MS-13 member run run your ID, and he's like, wait a minute, you're still on probation. You ain't supposed to be hanging around. Come with me.
Yeah, so he has to be real careful, very careful in his selection, who he hangs out with.
Now, let me tell you something. His knuckle behind wanted to come here to Texas. I said, no.
No.
I said, stay your behind in Connecticut. Don't come down here.
Mess it all up.
I said, I love you. I said, when I get an opportunity, I'll come home, be able to see you, yada, yada, yada. I said, but don't come here to Texas.
Wow.
I said, because Texas is not Connecticut. And I said, and I got a friend who has a backhoe in 100 acres. Don't make me have to bury your ass down here.
Wow.
He says, oh, you do that to me, Auntie? I said, sure, as Mott's made little green apples. You mess with me, and I'll turn around and go on his doggone property with that backhoe, and I will dig a hole and bury you.
Woo.
And they will never find you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
He's like, Auntie, you don't love me. I said, I love you. I love you enough to kill you.
Oh man. It's getting I don't say it's getting late. I'm probably in the live. We could do one today in the evening time, like in the late evening. It probably gonna be really late.
Anytime 6.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm normally home getting some stuff ready or thinking about next day's events and stuff of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Because as it is right now, I'm still awake.
Okay.
I'm still awake.
Uh-huh.
I'm still awake. My blood pressure isn't that high, but I'm still awake. And it's 3:30 in the morning.
Well, yeah, we got 4:30 here. I gotta go out with Big Hawk today. We're gonna record the Guardian Angels and then some local stuff downtown. Let's see what's going on.
Well, what time are you guys going out?
Like 2 or 3. 2 or 3.
So that would probably be like 1 or 2 here
1
in
or
Texas.
2. Yeah, then we gotta edit the video. So when we'll do the Guardian Angel Patrol and we'll do the video. So I'm thinking around like, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It'll be done like the day was around this time. Well, this was late. I did this one late. This live was really late.
Yeah, because I was getting ready to go to bed.
Wow.
And I'm like, what? He's on? Did I miss 30 minutes of it?
Yeah, I was on. Yeah, my friend was like,
yeah,
he wanted
so
to come
I'll go
on.
back once we're off with this. I'll go back and listen to the first 30 minutes of the show. So probably fall asleep in 10 minutes once I start listening to it.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna get back up soon. So yeah, we're talking a little bit. Shout out to everybody that's watching and listening in.
Yeah, I'll be making tacos tomorrow. I'll be doing the taco lady hustle tomorrow.
That's that's good money. Look like it. Yeah.
Hey, if I gotta get out there and sell them on the street, I guess I gotta do what I gotta do.
The migrants, they were doing the taco hustle today. They were in front of there. I got them recorded them in Jamaica, Queens. They were they already had the food prepared and they were selling it to the other migrants.
And then see, that's what they do.
They got paranoid.
They're not worried about selling to U.S. people. They're only worried about selling their food to their people.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were doing in Chicago. There was a guy, like I said, homeless, was in the shelter. The people didn't like the food. He took the money that the government gave him, started cooking Venezuelan food and selling it to the migrants. Now, you tell me that in 6 months, he'll get an IT number once he figures out that he can get an IT number without any identification, start his own business. He can go to every single one of those migrant shelters where the Venezuelans are selling his food. And that's exactly what they do here in Texas.
Wow.
And then you wonder why you got these Mexicans driving brand new F-150s because they pay for it cash.
Because they're making money. Because they saved all the money.
Making money off their own people.
Yep. And if they get anybody else, it's a plus.
That Jamaican place that you were showing, Jamaican flavors?
Yeah, Jamaican flavors. Yeah.
I typed in the chat. I want a pincho now.
Yeah, it's good.
I miss the Puerto Rican pinchos, man. The pincho wagons. And then I had another guy. He was Lebanese, and he did his in lamb. He didn't do it in pork. So I used to get one pork pincho from this one pincho wagon, and I used to get one from him.
Wow.
And he served hot tea. He didn't sell soda.
But hot tea.
He would do a long pour of tea and give you your pincho with your naan bread. Good eating, man. Wow. I still make it to this day.
Wow.
I still make it with. When I make pinchos, I make pinchos out of lamb. Almost like a gyro. Oh,
okay. Yeah, they got all that.
There's like one Greek restaurant that's like, 20 miles from me. I said, well, as long as I can get lamb, I'll make my own gyros.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah. But anyway, man, I appreciate it.
No problem. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, my friend.
All right, my friend.
Yeah, so yeah, just whenever you want to hit me up, just send me. You can always send me a text first.
Okay, I will. I can give you time. Like, oh, can you be, if you want to do it in an hour or two, I can do that. Yeah, not a problem.
You can always just send me a text and like, yeah, I can do it now, or hey, give me 10 minutes or 20 minutes, or how much time did I need? Because especially if I'm in the car or whatever,
Okay.
I have to do it by voice.
Uh-huh.
Say, hey, give me 10 minutes to get home.
That sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan.
Definitely, my friend. It was nice talking to you. Nice to be able to air some stuff out, get some statistics out about the Biden plan, the UN plan. I want to go into looking more into the UN Global Migration Compact.
Okay.
And get some more of that information out.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know.
I was stunned at the amount of money that they're paying for these hotels, $26.6 million a month.
Oh yeah, the hotels don't want no regular customers no more because that's a guaranteed money.
Yep.
That's at least for the next 2 years until the next guy or woman, since what you told us today, the next guy or woman get in office.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those they have a contract. So that contract may be up in a year, 2 years. I mean, the next president doesn't take office until January.
I know. That's what I tell people. People banking on it. I'm like, we in March. We got April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. They vote in November. So whoever wins, you still got another 2 months. You got November, December, and then January, January 15th, somewhere in the middle of the month, they swear them in.
Yeah, January 20th, I believe it is.
January 20th. I was there when
I think it's January 20th. They swear him into office.
Yeah, I was there for Obama when they swore him in the first time.
And you don't think that if Biden loses, that he's not going to go scorched earth?
Yeah.
In those few months that he's going to be, hanging around waiting to make that transition, he's going to go scorched earth.
Yeah. That's
because
true.
he's still the president until the new president takes the oath of office. He's still the president after November.
Yep. So
after November 5th until January, he is still the president, and I guarantee you, he's going to do executive orders. He's going to do everything possible to make it difficult for Trump if he comes in. He's already made it difficult.
Wow. Yeah, he got a couple cards left. He got a couple chess moves left. People don't realize that they just banking. Like you said, if he take an illness, I'm saying it wrong. If he gets ill, that could change the whole dynamic. He could say, I want to step down. This is who it's going to be. It's going to be Kamala. What's her name? Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris be president.
Yeah.
And then she'd have to be able to choose a vice president. And to be perfectly honest, Big Mike Obama said that she doesn't want to run for president, this, that, and the other, but she never once said that she would not be vice president.
That's true, because she knows she would just be sitting around. She's still be doing stuff.
And Obama and her husband will be doing the work.
Yeah, because he was already president, so he tell her, do this, do that. That's how you do it. And it'll be an easy transition. Won't be hard work for her at all. Say a couple speeches.
She would be truly the first black vice president.
And that would get a lot of votes. That would win the women vote, the black vote, and some other minority votes.
Because, black people will still fall for the okey doke when it comes to black people. Oh, we love Michelle, and Michelle this and Michelle that, and she ain't going to be
any different.
You got to ask yourself this. What did Obama, when he was in office, do for black people?
Zero.
Not a thing.
Zero.
He did more for the gay community than he did for black people.
Yeah. And which he
federalized gay marriage.
Yep.
He allowed people to be able to get Obamacare. What was included in Obamacare? transitional medicine.
Wow.
He did more for gay people than
He did for black
all black people.
But yeah, if Michelle runs, they'll definitely they'll definitely
You have to realize she has her law degree too.
yep.
All right, I'm cutting off these lights, man.
Yeah. So we'll talk later. Peace out to the chat.
Phillydom and the rest of the world, may you have a good morning, good evening, and a good night.
Oh yeah. Peace out.
Peace out.
Boom.